What is worship? This is a very important question because every single day when we pray our prayer, we say, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ. You alone we worship. And it's very important that we understand what this word worship means, because most people, when they think about this word worship, they think of salah, prayer, they think of siyam, fasting, they think of hajj, doing the pilgrimage, doing umrah, by going to Mecca. But the word worship actually has a much broader meaning, and it's very important that we understand this meaning, because it's going to change the way that we worship Allah when we understand what worship is. And as one of the famous scholars of Islam defined worship, he said that this word worship, ibadah, is an all-inclusive term for those internal and external sayings and actions of a person that are pleasing to Allah and which Allah loves. So worship is anything that's pleasing to Allah and that Allah loves. From our sayings, so anything that we say with our tongues, and our actions, anything that we do with our limbs. So an example of the things that we say could be saying a good word to anyone, to our parents, to our neighbor, to our friends, saying good things, speaking good, speaking the truth, with the intention of pleasing Allah is worship. And anything from actions that Allah loves and is pleased with, like being good to your parents, being good to your neighbors, even going to sleep to give your body its right, to take care of your body because Allah gave you your body as a trust, and to wake up for Fajr in the morning, that becomes worship because Allah loves and is pleased with these actions. But the other important thing that I want to draw attention to here is we have all these physical actions. We've mentioned saying good things, being good to the parents, and obviously included in those things is salah, is fasting, is hajj, is all these other things. But we also have the internal actions. We have the internal actions of the heart and statements of the heart. When you love Allah, that's an action that you're doing with your heart. When you have hope in Allah's mercy, that's an internal action that you're doing with your heart. When you have fear of Allah's punishment, that's an action of the heart. When you trust in Allah, when things don't seem to be going your way, but you have tawakkul in Allah, you have this trust in Allah, then you are worshipping Allah with your heart. So that's why it's very important for us to remember this definition of worship, that worship is an all-inclusive term for those internal and external sayings and actions of a person that are pleasing to Allah and that Allah loves. For the next video, inshallah, I plan to cover the 3 pillars of worship that we've spoken about previously in our classes. If you know what those 3 pillars are, that we need to have these 3 things, and these 3 things reside in the heart, that we need to have it whenever we worship Allah. These 3 things need to be present in our heart. If you know what these 3 things are, please mention it in the comment, and inshallah I will post a video about it going forward, bi'idhnillah.